Nuclear bombs. These strange-shaped things causing massive explosions. I mean, think about it. How can something of this size cause such a huge blast? Stay with us in this video to learn how nuclear bombs work and who invented them. It all began in 1938 when these German scientists bombarded the nucleus of radioactive uranium with neutrons. After this experiment, they observed the splitting of the uranium atom into two parts. When they measured the weight of uranium before and after the split, they noticed that the weight after the split was less. In reality, the missing weight was released as energy, estimated to be around 200 megavolts per split, which is enormous energy. At the same time, a group of scientists in France discovered that when uranium atoms split, neutrons, or 3 of them, are released. These neutrons can then collide with other uranium atoms, causing them to split, releasing more neutrons and leading to a chain reaction of uranium atom splits, producing massive energy. When Einstein learned about these findings, he sent a letter to the US president, warning him about the possibility of Germany exploiting this information to create a weapon of mass destruction. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese naval fleet executed a surprise attack on the US fleet stationed at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. This attack was the main reason for the US entry into World War II. After the US entered the war, they realized they needed to build a nuclear bomb before Germany. The US initiated the Manhattan Project, led by Robert Oppenheimer, the man from Christopher Nolan's movie. Robert started working on building the nuclear bomb in the New Mexico desert with numerous scientists from around the world. To ensure the project's secrecy, they built houses, schools, and hospitals, a miniature city in the desert for scientists and their families to live in and keep the project completely confidential. There were 2 primary options for making a nuclear bomb, both through nuclear fission, as explained earlier. The first option was using uranium-235, and the second was using plutonium-239. The challenge faced by Robert was the scarcity of these materials in nature, so he resorted to enriching them in factories. This involved bringing uranium-238, more abundant than uranium-235, and conducting complex chemical processes to increase the uranium-235 content. As for plutonium-239, it was almost non-existent in nature and had to be entirely created in factories. Do you remember when I told you about the uranium splitting and neutron release? That is the basic principle followed in the making of nuclear bombs. However, the US government followed 2 designs for the bombs. The first bomb used uranium-235, as seen in the Little Boy bomb. It had 2 parts, a projectile and a target. The projectile was a cylinder of uranium-235, and the target was another part of uranium. When the 2 parts met, nuclear fission occurred, causing a massive explosion. As for the Fat Man bomb, it used plutonium-239 and had a different design. A sphere of plutonium was placed in the center of the bomb with a neutron initiator. It was surrounded by a neutron-reflective material to prevent neutron leakage. Nuclear fission would then occur, leading to an explosion. This method was used in the first nuclear bomb test in history, the Trinity test, conducted in the New Mexico desert. In summary, nuclear bombs rely on something called nuclear fission, which is the collision of neutrons with a radioactive material like uranium-235 or plutonium-239. This produces large amounts of energy and additional neutrons, sustaining the chain reaction until an explosion occurs. But this is not the only way to make nuclear bombs. There is another method involving the fusion of 2 light atoms to create a single heavy atom, producing energy. And now, you can make your own nuclear bomb at home.